Mariners win 5-0. They take the second of the 3-game series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. They improve to 27-25 on the season, back at 2 games over 500 for just the second time all year. Let's talk about how it happened. First inning, J.P. Crawford doubles. Ty France doubles him right back in, 1-0. Eugenio Suarez has the most excuse me swings, but does single home Ty France. Teoscar Hernandez didn't excuse anything. He ropes a double to left field to score Eugenio Suarez to make it 3-0. Second inning, Julio Rodriguez, it's amazing that I almost got that name wrong, doubles to center to score J.P. Crawford. And in the 7th, Suarez adds a sacrifice fly on a play. I'll talk about it. Julio Rodriguez is just a special, special athlete. All right, negatives. The offense wasn't great tonight outside of those first 2 innings. In fact, it was bad. Kolten Wong continues to just, we're going to play a game at some point, folks, on base percentage for Kolten Wong against winning percentage for Oakland Athletics. Right now, he's got to win. Maybe we should do average instead, because Kolten Wong is losing that one. He's 160 to whatever the heck the Athletics are at right now. They're now on pace to go 30-132 after another loss. He's just bad. It's been awful to watch, and it's been hard to watch. This guy was not bad last year. Wasn't great, but he wasn't bad last year. You can't say anything but awful this year. Was I a fan of that trade? No, because of what it represented. It represented that you weren't going to go after the big names. And I think it came after a few of them signed. Time is a construct at this point for me, but so that's why I didn't like it. I thought Kolten Wong could be a perfectly fine 2 to 3 win player, which he's been for the overwhelming majority of his career. But he's been an absolute disaster. I don't know. I don't know what we do. I mean, we don't do anything. I don't know what the Mariners do, other than Jose Caballero needs to get the majority of playing time there, and when Dylan Moore's ready to go, he gets the majority of playing time at second base. I think that needs to happen. That's pretty much it for negatives. Jose Caballero does get the 1 hit. Everybody gets a hit tonight except for Wong. All right. Nothing really negative for the pitching either. 17 strikeouts tonight. Okay, let's just get into positives. Luis Castillo was superb. Gave up a double on, I believe, the very first pitch of the game. If it wasn't the first pitch, it was one of the early pitches. Didn't allow a hit the rest of the game. Walked a couple guys, but 10 strikeouts against we talked about it last night. Pittsburgh's lineup is not superb by any stretch of the imagination, but it's solid. It's better than quite a few. It's certainly better than the lineup they faced last time. It's not great. By the way, sorry for the blinking. I got something in my eye right before we started recording. I promise I'm not winking at anybody. Well, a wink is not whatever. But it's great to see Castillo back to where he was. That was as well as I've seen him pitch. That's now back-to-back shutouts for him, over 6 innings, but still. Matt Brash. I guess if I have a negative tonight, I would have liked to have seen Matt Brash work a little bit more. I mean, he just absolutely worked Andrew McCutchen in his at-bat. Gets the strikeout on 4 pitches. I would have left him in for the 8th. I'd like to see them use Brash a little bit more. And I get it. By ERA, he's been pretty much their worst pitcher. In fact, not pretty much. He's been their worst pitcher, I think. Not cutting Chris Flexen, whose ERA is going to be in trouble for a long time. But the bullpen was great tonight. Trevor Gott, movement he was generating today was really impressive. Justin Topa, once again, excellent. Did walk the first batter, but then got 3 strikeouts. 17 strikeouts is a lot. 17 strikeouts is a lot. By the way, wonder what they did with those bouncy balls, guys. Just one game of using those inflated baseballs? Why would they do that? Wonder where they hit them. Maybe like at the bottom of Lake Washington, underneath the Fremont Troll. You know, lots of places to hide them. But why just for one game? No, it couldn't be that pitchers struggled and that it was really warm out and a power hitting lineup took advantage of it. No, it couldn't be that. If you think some people might be feeling a little bit foolish after this one, because there's no way in heck they're using the bouncy ball for one game and then not using it again. Come on. Let's talk about Julio Rodriguez. Top of the lineup was superb tonight. Crawford gets a couple of hits. France gets on 3 times, ropes a double. Also nice to see Kelnick rope a double too. He's been struggling a little bit, but nice to see a reminder of what he's capable of doing. But Julio, yeah, he ropes the double. I don't know how many runners can make it safely from where he ran from, because that was a pop-up to mid-center field at best, and he took off, and it was a good throw from Sawinski too. Like, it wasn't like a laser beam, but it was a perfectly accurate throw that had enough oomph on it. This wasn't a Michael Bourne throw, and he still makes it. Now, got a little lucky that the tag was a little late from the catcher, but how many people even make that a close play, much less make it? Special athlete. Just a special athlete. And even with the numbers not being where we want them to be, by the way, this is now, I believe, he's 12 for his last 25, getting a bunch of multiple hit games, playing excellent baseball as of late. But even with the numbers not being where they haven't been, we haven't liked where we wanted these numbers to be. I think that made sense. He's still making such an impact because of his speed and his defense. We are so fortunate to have that dude for so long. I'm glad he's getting a nice paycheck out of it. It's a win-win-win. Everybody wins. Julio wins, we win, Seattle Mariners win. It's really, really, really special. Special baseball player. Love seeing Ty France making hard contact to the pull side too. Like, I get it. Like, you know, you talk about it. It's the old cliche, and it's true for Ty France. It's true for about most hitters, that he's at his best when he's using the entire field, right? Yeah. But he's also at his best when you have to respect him turning on fastballs or turning on sliders, which he did in the first inning. That's important. It's great to use the whole field. It is. Don't get me wrong. It's harder to pitch somebody who can hit the ball to all parts of the field. Way harder. But if you have to respect Ty France being able to turn on fastballs or turn on bad sliders, and it was a cement mixer from Vince Velasquez who ends up leaving the start with elbow discomfort, which is, you know, I hope he's okay because he literally just came off the DL for the IL, excuse me. Ooh, terrible mistake. Very, very sorry. IL for elbow inflation. You know, you don't want to see that. But he wasn't effective even when he was, and who knows how healthy he was through that start. But here's hoping he's okay. But it's great to see France driving the baseball. Great to see Julio pulling the baseball. You know, if you make a pitch to the outside corner, yeah, he's perfectly capable of taking it out. But it's pulling the ball is not always bad. We seem to think that, like, it's the only way you can get hits is knocking the ball to the opposite field, because that's what you hear announcers talk about is a good piece of hitting, right? That's what everybody mentions is a good piece of hitting. Good piece of hitting is a good piece of hitting. You pull the ball, you hit the ball to center. Edgar Martinez drove plenty of balls, line down the left field line, pull side. Pulling the baseball is good sometimes too. It's great to see those guys doing that right now. And you set yourself up for a chance for a 6-1 week. And look, we said that 5-2. I mentioned it on KJR. I mentioned it on this channel. I mentioned it all sorts of places. That 5-2 was the necessary minimum. It's time to get greedy. 6-1. 6-1 and a 8-2 homestand would be fantastic. Fantastic. And they got a shot. Tomorrow, I believe. No, it's Marco for Seattle. I believe it's Ortiz for Pittsburgh. I'm confirming that right now. Yep, Luis Ortiz, who, not awful, but certainly a guy that the Mariners can score some runs against. It would behoove them to do that because, when Marco's off, it can be really bad. And we've seen some bad from him. We've seen some pretty good too. Fifth starter. Clear-cut fifth starter. Fun win. Fun win, but especially, got to tell you, Luis Castillo, that should be the highlight from everything. As fun as, top of the lineup doing well, great job by the bullpen, some stuff from the bottom lineup that was okay outside of Colton Wong, who, I don't know. A DFA would not shock me at this point. Crazy to think, but it would not shock me at this point. Castillo, that's what you get an ace for, man. And even those 5 starts that were bad, they weren't abhorrent. They were just not as up to his level. Lots of pitchers, lots of great pitchers have had worse strings than that. And will have worse strings than that. Luis Castillo will probably have worse strings than that. Baseball is hard. But he has shoved the last 2 nights, and that is great to see. Follow me on Twitter at Crawford_MILB. Make sure you're following the RotoWire Fantasy Baseball Podcast. I'm doing that every weekend. Actually, starting next week, I will be doing Saturday and Sunday episodes for the foreseeable future. So that'll be fun. I love doing those. Sports Sometimes. Please check that out. It is a lot of fun. I just had Meg Rowley on. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff, including the Mariners, and she's fantastic. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet. So, yeah, good stuff. Good win, and let's get greedy. 6-1 a week time.